and gentlemen, welcome to another Dish Yelta Confusion Thursday night hangout.
Good sir, how goes it?
It goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific comer himself, Zealeus.
And I'm swinging at a fruit fly. It's really annoying me.
I thought I saw something fly across the screen, but...
Yes, it was not just my good looks. There are other things, too.
Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. My son accidentally forgot to close my car door yesterday, and I had to go out. And as I was getting into the car after shutting his door, a fruit fly followed me in.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Did it hopefully not kill the battery in the process of your car?
No, thankfully, it was like maybe 25 minutes of an open door.
So, little story.
Yeah.
So, you and I had beverages last week.
Yes.
Way home, my car starts acting all wonky.
Uh-huh.
Like, bad. And I get, like, engine lights and all this stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I get it towed because just, like, I couldn't go above 10 miles an hour and all that stuff.
Whoa.
It turns out that cars nowadays are so reliant on electronics that if your battery starts going bad, it foobars your entire car.
Wow.
So, like, that's, back in the day, if you had a bad battery, your car just didn't start. But, like, once it started, it was fine. Like,
yeah.
Went on. Like, you jumped at it, no issues. But, yeah, I guess now with all the electronic shit, that, like, once your battery starts going bad, like, it just starts messing with the electronic systems.
Fun.
So that's a fun way of the future of cars.
Hooray.
I know.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Thursday Hangout. This is a live show where I try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any point during the show, if you have any thoughts, comments, subjects, questions, topics that you would like to discuss with the group, please do so by dropping it into the chat, be it on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and we'll try to add it to the show. If we do, unfortunately, run out of time, we'll add it to the very next show. Okie dokie.
Smoky.
So let's start off with one thing. So there is a game that I've played that I keep like picking up every like once in a blue moon, and I have a funny feeling that I keep playing this game, especially during the Extra Life 24-hour Gameathon. It's called Moonlighter.
Okay.
It's an RPG / shopkeeper game. So you go through these randomly generated dungeons, and you try to collect the goods, the spoils of like treasure chests and all that stuff, and then you go back, and the next day you sell all the stuff that you just got. There is a demo for the new version of Moonlighter, of course, Moonlighter 2.
Ooh.
I can't.
Now with more moonlight?
Now with more moonlight. It's called the
Or
Endless...
is it sunlight now?
It's called Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. It is... it's definitely got a graphic overhaul. It looks really nice. Plays pretty good, too. They basically give you the ability to play the demo and try to achieve one goal, and that's to basically collect 5,000 coins in a single day. So that's basically what you're doing is you're going into the dungeon area and trying to collect items that you can sell to try to amass 5,000 coins, and that is not easy. It took me maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to do during the Tuesday night stream. But I have to say that I don't know when the game's actually coming out, but it's definitely worth a look-sees.
Interesting.
I really, really like the way that they redid the shopkeeping aspect, because in the original one, you had to set the price, and you basically had to just keep moving the price up or down to find like the sweet spot.
Sure.
In this one, certain actions that you do in the dungeon when you're putting items into your limited backpack space can change the value of the items in your backpack. And then so you put the item there and it starts at that value, and then there's like two things that you can cause the price to inflate when a customer is interested in it. So
Okay.
it's pretty solid. So once again, Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. I just want to give a quick shout out to that before we actually get into the stories for this week.
Sounds like a very intriguing game indeed.
Yes. So let's start off with the fact that one of Charlie's favorite RPG franchises of all time apparently is going to get an anime in 2026, and that is Suikoden.
Is it? Oh snap! Is it going to be like 99 episodes to get all the characters?
108.
One for each character.
108 characters, sir. So there would be 107 episodes because you already got the main character. But
I guess it's in every episode then.
I'm pretty sure that they're not going to do that. But here's the description. So it is going to be this. Just so you know, there's 5 Suikodens out there, main Suikodens. There's also some like spin-offs, like there's Suikoden Tactics and some other.
Sure.
So the question is, which are they going to choose a storyline from one of the Suikodens, or are they going to do a completely different storyline?
Oh, good question, dude.
And the answer is they are going to adapt the story of Suikoden 2, which is basically the only Suikoden I don't own.
Are you going to be able to even watch it? Just, I feel like every time you see Suikoden 2 come up on the TV, it's just going to give you like a heart palpitation.
No. Basically, this is their quote. Our story, Hiro and his friend Jowie are members of the Unicorn Youth Brigade, which participated in a drawn-out border dispute between the Highland Kingdom and the city-states of Jostin. A few months earlier, a truce agreement was signed between the two forces, both of which were happy to see an end to the fighting. However, hidden under the momentary peace, the fires of a new war continue to smolder.
Good Lord. $300 on eBay.
No, stop doing that. I know.
I never actually looked up online, but you can get it on the Switch.
I know that you could do the 1-2 HD combo on the Switch.
Well, there you go. And then you could just like white out where it says Switch and write in PS2, and it'll be the same thing.
It was on the PS1.
Oh, really? The ones I'm seeing are. Oh, you're right. I can't actually read.
I know because I held it in my hand.
Fragile human hands.
Anyways, so there's going to be a Suikoden anime in 2026. I'm excited. I'll get to actually partake in some of the story.
What is the actual like story of Suikoden?
Usually, they're all built around. You are an unlikely hero who is a volunteer soldier in some countries like militia, and it turns out that who you think is your ally, it's usually who you think is your ally, it's not really your ally. They're actually trying to overthrow the kingdom that you're working for, and so you take it upon yourself, or you get tasked by some high-ranking noble to create a new military force to combat the backstabbiness of this other country, and in the process, you collect close to 108 heroes, some of which you will fight in a turn-based combat. Some of them will open up like shops, and others will be assistants that can help. In the original Suikodens, those assistants would help with like special attacks.
Gotcha.
during
Oh,
combat.
interesting.
Yeah, they just like randomly show up, like, hey, you got all the fishermen that were part of the 108. So now they do like this weird attack with their fishing poles and hooks and stuff.
Looking with that fishing pole, man, that can do some major damage.
Exactly. But anyways, so yeah, sadly we have to wait at least a year. I'm trying. See, I think they just literally said 2026. I don't think they said an exact date. I'm just trying to scroll back through here real quick again. Yeah, no.
It's only a year away.
Well, it could be a year away, or it could be like half a year away. I mean,
or it could be a year and 4 months away.
Yes.
We shall see.
Who knows? All right. The next story we got to talk about is there is a changing of the guard for a very popular internet show that showcases a bunch of very talented voice actors sitting around a table and playing a game that some people might know called Dungeons and Dragons. This show, of course, is Critical Role, and they have made the announcement that for the 4th campaign, so Season 4 of Critical Role, there will be a new GM, new Game Master, at the helm to drive the story. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Game Master up to this point has been Matt Mercer. And Matt Mercer, geez almighty, he is... like I can't even think of how many different voices he's done. He's all over the place. I mean, he's still doing voices. Some people say that he just needed some time to like step away and take a breath because he does so much that he's basically running himself ragged. If you've watched Sakamoto Days on Netflix, he is the voice actor for the English version. He's the main character
Okay.
for Sakamoto Days. He's the if you watched the Amazon Prime show Vox Machina, or sorry, The Legend of Vox Machina, he is Orthax. And let's see, I'm going to try to grab one more here. Let's go with... trying to find another... Good grief, he is in so much stuff.
So I'm not feeling nerdy enough because I haven't seen any of these, including Critical Role.
Okay, so I'll be totally transparent with you. I have not... I think I've watched like maybe a piece of a Critical Role episode. I have watched some other kind of in the same vein as that. There was something called Harmon's Quest, which was basically the guy who was the mastermind behind Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
He basically got a bunch of his buddies together and they did a very comedic Dungeons and Dragon-esque show without being called Dungeons and Dragons because they didn't have the license.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really seen any of the DME type of shows. I just never really felt the need to, I guess.
I can't remember. There was another one that was... I'll butcher it, so I'm not going to try to guess what the other one that I've watched is. But they're usually pretty good. And the thing about Harmon Quest is that they had... not only was it just a bunch of people sitting around a table being silly and goofy, but they also had like animated sequences of what the people were actually doing, which just made it all that much better. So yeah. Dear God, dude, I've been scrolling nonstop since I last said a title, and I've only for Matt Mercer's credits. And
Yep.
I'm finally getting to 2018. because
Just keep going back in time.
Dude, he said so much stuff. I mean, my God, the amount of the sheer volume of video games is insane.
He's been around the microphone a few times.
Yeah. He's basically voiced so much stuff. Anyways, so he's taking he's taking a step back. His replacement is a gentleman by the name of Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Sure.
Now, I don't know very much about Brendan Lee Mulligan, but I've been told that many people are rejoicing that this guy is the replacement, because apparently he is pretty damn good as well.
Cool.
And just in case you were wondering, yes, he too has done voice acting in a lot of stuff.
A little bit of things in his days.
Yeah, he's done a couple things. Anyways,
Yeah, no.
okay. So Matt Mercer is stepping back. The Brendan Lee Mulligan is stepping in. So I guess congrats on keeping it going.
Something a little bit unique, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Next on the agenda, let's talk about something that could have crazy ramifications. I'm going to let Zealeus talk a little bit more about this one, but I'll start off. It came down that Epic has won yet another lawsuit against Google. Zealeus, why don't you give us a little info about what the potential ramifications are of this latest lawsuit?
I haven't read the lawsuit, to be honest, but I'm assuming it has to do with opening up the App Store.
Yes.
Yeah, it comes down to how open do you want the App Store? I'm personally not a huge fan of opening the App Store to just be like, basically you can easily do third-party apps, and basically comes down to the security aspect.
Right.
I mean, to me at least, there is a consumer benefit of the security aspect. I mean, yes, I know there's always going to be ones that go through the cracks. We all know that. But for the most part, they're pretty secure. What I am a fan of is the ability of apps to be able to buy subscriptions and advertise those subscriptions not on like the App Store, for instance. Meaning like Pandora, for instance, because I use that.
Right.
It used to be where you could only do the subscription for basically the iPhone through the Pandora app. And when you're in Pandora on the app, it can't tell you to go off, to Pandora.com to do the subscription. It broke the TOS of the App Store. So that kind of stuff I'm perfectly cool with, like kind of breaking down that wall, because the developer should kind of be able to do what they want in that regard. But in this, I'm also not particularly a fan of basically lawsuits or other companies, in this case, Epic, being able to tell Apple or Google, for that matter, I guess in this specific case, like how they're able to run their App Store. Or I guess Apple, what is it? The Google Play Store for Google, technically.
Yes.
But that's kind of where I am, because it's like, does this mean I can now put my video game on the Epic Game Store? Can I just write up a shitty RPG and be like, hey, Epic, you should host my game because I'm telling you to? So to me, it's not a whole lot different. So I'm not a big fan of these lawsuits potentially opening up the app stores in that regard. I mean, if you don't like it, then sideload on the Android phone. You still have that option. If you don't like having a third-party app store on the iOS, then maybe it's not for you. Go get an Android and sideload. So I'm not a huge fan of it personally. That's just me. I know a lot of people are rejoicing about it, of the freedom. So that's kind of where I come down is I think it's unnecessary and only cause more confusion from consumers too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on the PC the irony is like from a PC perspective, probably a lot of people like excited about this are the same ones who only load Steam on their PC. And And what I'm going, that is like, now you have, what is it, like the Blizzard launcher, the EA launcher, all these other launchers, and they all suck compared to the Steam launcher for video games. So I would rather everything be, one central store in that case that actually works, and is not just a piling piece of crap.
Right. Now, of course, we all know that Google's going to appeal this, and I'm sure that all the stuff is going to get frozen again. So who knows what the total outcome is, but, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And I mean, it's also like the thing with getting your app, I guess it's tricky because I understand why Epic was pissed with Apple, where the 30% cut, where they couldn't basically advertise to buy outside the App Store. That I can actually understand them having that issue in of itself there. I do think there comes a point where now you're kind of dictating how does another company run their store. Which I suppose the argument is they have a monopoly, but is it a monopoly if two different companies have a monopoly in the same ecosystem? It's not really a monopoly then. I guess it's a duopoly, but still.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know either. I used to use Android, but I actually like, one of the things I like about the iPhone is it just kind of magically works. Like you don't have to do custom settings and do all these different things. It just kind of works. Some people like those settings. People like advanced settings. More power to them. Go use Android.
Yes. I concur.
But yeah, I work in tech all day. I don't feel the need when I sign off to go tinker with, my phone to get just the right settings. Just give me settings that work well out of the box.
Yeah. Speaking of other humongous companies that probably are in favor of the Epic lawsuit because it will open things up for them, Zealeus mentioned the company EA. There was a rumor early this week about the fact that if you mentioned a certain game in the, what was it, the EA app, the chat function, the EA app, it would censor this game's name. Now, of course, I think it got enough buzz where if it actually did, it doesn't do it anymore. But the name of the game is called Arc Raiders. It is a highly anticipated game. Excuse me.
I was close.
The game is not from EA. It is from Embark Studio, and that's yeah, that is close, Zealeus. Although that could be taken in a totally different way. But
totally not my goal at all.
But apparently, like some people thought it was just pettiness because the company Embark Studios CEO was the former vice president of EA, and so EA felt butthurt, so they didn't want to have anyone be able to talk about or promote a game from an ex-employee. But once again, that function that doesn't happen anymore. You can put Arc Raider in there and nothing, and it just chat.
I sometimes wonder if it's like one random employee, and then just like I wonder if anyone's going to notice if I toggle this one little box here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of my theory.
I mean, people are going to be petty. Does it?
I had actually not heard of the game until now. It does look interesting. It's an extraction shooter.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's the new rage. I guess we've kind of moved on we went from almost like MOBAs to battle royales, and now it's like we're in this like extraction shooter phase of life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of what comes up next.
Yeah.
And somewhere on there intersperse some survival games because those are kind of, stuck around a little bit.
I'm sorry. I can't deal with survival games. It puts it. I already have anxiety. I don't need to compound my anxiety while playing games. I'm trying to escape and go to like a happy place. I don't want to have to deal with, oh my God, I'm very parched and I'm hungry and I'm cold and I apparently can only find a bullet every 15 minutes. So God forbid I have a gun, So I have a stick that has a durability of like 1. So I swing at anything and it's going to crack into a bajillion pieces. I don't need that stress.
I mean, if you listen to the show, my last probably year plus, my binge has been ARPGs.
Yep.
I think that's why. It's the power fantasy of just going in and blowing shit up.
Yeah.
Or I guess hitting them over the head with a 2-handed axe, but same concept. And that's probably, I think, to your point of like that versus, extraction shooters, because usually those are on the more you have to actually think side.
Yeah.
I think it's more so why I've been playing the ARPG is for the most part, you just go in and it's like Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, buddy.
And you're just fine until end game, but that's totally different and that's fine. But at least for the campaign, you just kind of go in and just do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus to your point, I have tried out a few of the survival games and like, it doesn't take me very long, like maybe a couple of hours at the most to be like, okay, this is dumb. I've rebuilt my fort 4 times and now I have to like simultaneously keep up like my birchwood and my maple wood to like do this match. And it just becomes too much. Like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's like, because that's why I haven't played, because I played a lot of MMOs over the years, and that's one of the reasons I haven't touched Dune Awakening, is because that's apparently a large part of the game. Is everything in the game is gonna break and break down. You have to repair it all. I'm like, that sounds stressful.
Yes. Constantly having to perform maintenance.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is not my idea of fun. I want to, if you're gonna give me crafting, I want to be able to craft the item and it to last. Now, I'm not saying that I should, I'm gonna be able to have this item, for the rest of the game. I'm thinking, I craft the item and it helps me get through X amount of time, and then maybe I find better materials so I could craft a better item, and I can just chuck that. I will change items, guys. Okay.
No, the power fantasy of getting better items, that totally makes sense. Like, nobody. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that concept. Or yes,
it's just,
you want to upgrade. You need bigger, fatter loot. Is definitely a thing.
Exactly. Which is why Borderlands is so freaking popular, because you're always going to get, you may not get bigger, badder loot, but you're going to get bizarre-ass loot that will make you go, you know what? What would this weapon do if I shoot monsters with it?
I do appreciate with Borderlands, to your point, though, is because they're all assigned like a power, but it's not just like how much, okay, my bullet does 100 damage, but it also then spawns off like 4 mini heat-sinking missiles when it hits an enemy. Like, so that's where that is. I do appreciate that about Borderlands, where the weapons definitely do offer some fun dopamine hits.
Yes. Also, I do like the fact that I don't have to worry about the size of my weapon when it and I can quickly rotate through a couple different weapons.
But inventory Tetris is its own mini game, sir.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Yeah.
I actually don't mind inventory Tetris. It's inventory weight management I hate, which I know it's kind of the same thing, but I hate weight management more. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was a game that I was playing where there is a shit ton of stuff to pick up, and so, but it's like really small.
Yeah.
The vast majority of the stuff you're picking up is like component, like recipe ingredients and stuff. So you're not thinking very much of it, but over time, it starts to really, you know, count up when you
And I
have
feel like those games are discriminatory against natural hoarders,
yes,
and it's just not fair. There should be a ADA regulation against that.
sure, why not?
If you can sue for anything, why not? Might as well start somewhere.
Speaking of suing, let's
Yes.
talk about the next topic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are an individual who interacts, if you are a parent or an uncle or an aunt or brother or sister, whatever, and you allow children to play online, you have to understand that you need to lay down ground rules with them.
Wait. What's that? The video game does the ground rules for me. I don't have to do anything. Got it.
No. So the story that somebody just shared with me, literally as we were doing the show, so is about some parents are suing Roblox after their 13-year-old daughter was kidnapped.
Oh,
She met an individual through Roblox, and one thing led to another. They had a meet up, and the person kidnapped them. Now, the family is suing Roblox because Roblox is false. They're claiming that it's falsely marketed as safe for kids. Look, there are very bad people out there, okay? This is not a new concept where everyone should know that there are really scary, messed up people who will pretend to be kids to,
yep.
I mean, I'm feel for this family for their kid getting kidnapped, but at the same time, look, Zealeus and I have been gaming for a very long, long time, and when we started gaming, this was not even this ability, this functionality did not exist. But as soon as it did, I mean, I've got 2 kids of my own, and I have sat both of them down numerous times because I've had to correct some of their online behavior because they are too trusting. Sometimes, for example, claiming, "Hey, aren't you that person from my school?" Doesn't matter if they are or not. You don't. No.
Yep. No, I agree. It can be a scary online world, and you're right. You feel for the parents and with the kids getting kidnapped, but at the end of the day, like, there is some responsibility on the parents for still doing the adulting.
Yes.
And yeah, it sucks because I don't want to do the game of blaming the victim, because at the heart, it's actually like it's the kidnappers who's at fault.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to blame the parents for not parenting, but at the same time, that is kind of the responsibility. It's not, I'll put it this way, I don't think it's Roblox's responsibility to be able to, they don't have the capability, I don't think the expectation, to be able to filter every single message like that.
Yes.
I mean, I know there are some safeguards in place, but I think the other part of it, like, regardless of Roblox, kids can be dumb and not aware of the world around them, regardless if it's Roblox, Facebook, Second Life, World of Warcraft. It doesn't matter. There's ways to interact with digital people in the world, and irrespective of it being Roblox, there's going to be nefarious bad people out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the crappy part, is there has to be that awareness of whatever platform they're on. There's going to be online people who are not looking out for the best intentions.
They're trying to game the system to feed their perversions.
Yeah. Did they catch the kidnappers, I hope?
So, okay, the kid was kidnapped May 24th, 2025 by a 37-year-old predator. The predator has been captured and is being held on 4 counts of sexual abuse and trafficking.
Wow.
Which, that's terrifying.
It's because, I'm single, so I do online dating, and it's one of those things where, you talk to somebody online, and, whether you're, 14 or in your 40s, you don't know who the people actually are in real life regardless.
Yes.
So, I know, when I do those, I, go to a public place, maybe text somebody, like, hey, I meet this random person. If I don't show up tomorrow, here's the information. There's certain precautions you kind of take.
Yeah.
Just because it's a crazy world.
Hell, if I have to take some sort of taxi or Uber or ride share in the middle of the night, I text at least 1 or 2 people all the information. Even if it's going through, the Uber or Lyft or app, if when I used to take taxis if I had to fly in late and I'd take a taxi, I would write down all the driver's information or text all the driver information. Because one time I was so creeped out by the taxi driver that I had him drop me off a mile away from where I lived. And then I walked that mile, which of course I got chewed out for later, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, when I get pickups by ride shares, I never put in my actual address.
I just put the end of my driveway, and I'll just be waiting out there. So,
I'm in a condo complex, so I could just kind of top of the hill.
Yeah.
Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, they know I'm going to the airport.
Yep.
I don't want them to know my actual address.
Yep. True. Very true.
Because, people be crazy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause real quick to thank the individuals who help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore, and that, of course, is the friends of the show. So let's start it off right with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts that challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout-out we got to give is to the AV master himself, and that, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Whack Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. The next shout out we're going to give is to an individual who helps get all those aches and pains out of your body after long days sitting in desk chairs or maybe long gaming sessions. That is, of course, Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic's unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone could be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They're committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout out we're going to give is to the music maestro himself, and that, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Ultra Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions to individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. The final shout out we got to give is to the original backer on Patreon. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings, and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. Now, this very moment in time, I know that you guys are screaming, how do I become a friend of the show? Well, it's quite simple, ladies and gentlemen. Ultra Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, werewolves, vampires, swamp creatures, mummies, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have 2 tiers. There's the $1 tier that's $1 a month or $12 a year. What that gets you is early access to all of our playthroughs, which, by the way, the new early access playthrough is up. It is called Abandoned Planet. It is a good one to check out. But of course, also at the $1 level, you have the ability to participate in patron-only posts. Now, if you're feeling extra frisky, you can jump it up to $5 a month. That's $5 a month, or $60 a year. What that gets you is your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday night hangout, as well as everything that took place that you have for the $1 level. So if you want to become a patron of Ultra Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/altered confusion. And yes, the new school year is upon us, Mr. Chip Barber. The bus has yet to show up on time or deliver my child home on time, but that is the growing pains of middle school. Okay, anyways.
You know what I mostly miss? Summertime traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are these people doing on the road, man?
All right. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to do this, and I love pointing this out. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 14 years straight. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So, if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion. I think it's like the first Saturday in November. I think that's usually when it usually goes down.
Yeah, it usually falls on one of our robotics competitions, which is usually the first weekend in November.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, personal little shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that some of you are always interested in getting some Ultra Confusion swag, perhaps like a hat or a coffee cup or perhaps a vinyl sticker. Oops, upside down. Vinyl sticker. Or perhaps a pet food bowl. Or just added, ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion comfy socks or an Ultra Confusion pom-pom beanie. All you got to do is go to ultraconfusion.tv/merch. What about pins? That's a very good question. We should check to see.
I mean, there's a notebook. You got it right somehow in the notebook.
I know. I'm gonna make a note of that. Pins.
Indeed.
I was toying around with some of their backpack options, but none of them looked right. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Anyways, okay. Back to the stories, right? Right. Maybe?
What's the
okay,
story?
so let's talk quickly about a game that seems to be in perpetual it's coming. Just don't know when.
Duke Nukem 40.
Bioshock 4 is still apparently a thing that potentially could happen. There's like no real information about it, but the CEO has come out and said it's still in the works.
That's super optimistic. So like 2027.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 2027 as well.
Yeah. For early access, and then actually 2028 for the real game. Remember, everything has to have an early access phase now.
No. They're going to do early access in 2027. And then they're going to take it out of early access because there's going to be somebody bitching and moaning because Take-Two has decided that they had to kind of smush in an online piece to the game, and everyone is shitting all over it.
Fair. But they'll still have it available for sale for beta.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God, yes. It's going to be at least $60, $70. Okay. So here's one that I don't. Here's a story that I don't like. I mean, I understand, but at the same time, this is the kind of stuff that like drives me up a wall. So there is a charity speedrunning event called RTA. No, you do not want to see me climb up a wall. I'll probably hurt myself really quick.
It could be for charity.
And they're bringing basically this is an event to all the proceeds go to Doctors Without Borders.
Yep.
They are bringing in some of like the best speedrunners to take on games like Cuphead. I can never pronounce it right. Nier Automata and Skyrim, to name a few.
Yep. Good games.
But noticeably absent is any Nintendo game, because Nintendo says no, you can't do that. You can't use our games for your.
You cannot
charity.
use our precious intellectual property for anything that Nintendo does not approve. Basically.
So in years past, they have featured. They've done speed runs of games like Super Mario 64.
Classics.
And the event is a non-profit. Okay, there's no profit to be made. This all goes to Doctors Without Borders. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way.
I mean, unfortunately, based off of the history we've seen over the last number of years now, is anyone really surprised that Nintendo's like, ha 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 ha? No.
Yeah.
It's just what they do.
Yeah, I mean, and Nintendo's always been kind of super duper protective of their IPs, but they have been even more so in the last, I would say, like 4 years.
Not into overdrive, yeah. It's like not at all, yeah.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is one of them, but another one that has, I don't know I mean, I haven't been really keeping up with this side, but apparently, you know, Blizzard was like super duper strict on any type of tournaments that
Hmm.
that had I think it was StarCraft.
Oh, yes. Just because they wanted the esport monies.
Yeah.
That went very well.
Yeah. Of course it did. Um yeah. So I mean, once again, I understand, but at the same time, it's just
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, they're within their technical rights, but
right.
still, it wish it were not that way, but it be what it be.
Yeah. Um okay. So here is the question of the day, I guess.
Oh dear.
It is, can a studio make another hit after the talent responsible for their last hit have all left the company?
I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of a hit. You look at, the contemporary one to look at is Blizzard, because,
Yeah.
Blizzard's a shell of its original creative self. And you look at like Diablo 4 still making money over fist.
Yeah.
Many of myself included, of the more ardent ARPGs would say of the current flock of ARPGs, it's the worst. But yet they're still making millions of dollars off of it. So they're obviously still got something on there. Maybe it's because of, momentum that because it's the Diablo title. But nonetheless, I mean, you can consider Diablo 4 a hit because it's successful, but it definitely, it stinks because in the past, Blizzard would take titles like a World of Warcraft or the Diablos, take a known type of genre and make it better, basically. And distill that, and same thing with Overwatch 1 for that matter. Now they just kind of regurgitate more than anything else. They're not really innovating at all, even within a genre that already exists. But you look at long-standing ones like, the developer of Elder Scrolls, right? Like, I'm sure a lot of the original, just because it's been around so long, a lot of those original devs are gone, right? It's just people move on with life. So same thing with Assassin's Creed, right? Assassin's Creed's a long-standing franchise, been around forever. I'm sure the original Civ 2 people don't have anything to do with Civilization 6 or 7 now. Don't even think have Sid Meier's. Does he even still have Sid Meier's name on it?
I don't think so.
So is it possible? Yes. Is it difficult? I would say yes also. And I think where it traps them is the ability to like innovate. I think Civilization's a great example where they just basically have done 4X without doing anything new. I know they've had on trappings like religion and other things, but as far as doing something new, and a good example would actually be Against the Storm, where they took the 4X strategy and or city building. So maybe SimCity would be a better analogy of SimCity. They took the city building of SimCity and turned it into a roguelike. That was truly innovating, right? And I think that's what you see when you see these future iterations of games, is it's like they stop coming up with a novel concept for that game.
Yeah. I agree. If it's a long running franchise like a Final Fantasy or a Diablo or an Assassin's Creed or something along those lines, then yes. But then again, you probably,
or even look at Borderlands. Like, it's the same game as Borderlands 1. It's got better, I'll give it that, but like, it's the same damn game.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just change locale, change or add a couple characters, and call it a day.
It's the modification of FPSs.
I think that it's easier when you have a long-standing franchise, I think it's harder where if you have just one super duper popular game and then you promise to make another of that caliber in the exact same universe, but everyone that was on that game is now gone. That potentially could spell like a weird, situation.
What was that game? Did you post about something we may have talked about a week ago where like that exact? Yeah, I think last week we talked about a game where that exact situation happened.
It's Disco Elysium.
Yeah,
It's,
no, it was
well,
not that one.
that's one of the games out there that
There was a game we talked about last week. I can't remember the name now. It was like some kind of, it was because of shutting down. It was a PvP game.
Splitgate 2.
Yes, thank you. Split. That's a good example where they had what was a good. People enjoyed Splitgate 1.
Yep.
And then they took Splitgate 2 and they almost like, from everything I've read, they made it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy to do. I mean, Overwatch 2 out of the gate kind of sucked. Like it was not doing well. It's in a good place now from everything I've read, but out of the gate, it kind of had its issues. So I mean, it's hard to make consistently good games, and especially now there's so many choices. Like because with Steam and GOG and all this stuff, like there's so many different things you can play. So it's like if you don't catch people's attention right away, you may never get it again.
Right. Yeah. I
always think of the classic example. I always think of was Metallica, and like basically since the Black Album, and some people would even argue Master of Puppets, that Metallica's not really put out a great album.
Right.
And James Hetfield has actually talked about a number of times where he's like, you're right. Like we don't have that anger and angst as we were when we were kids. And like going heavy and hard is just different when you have that, legacy weighing down on you. 100% it does.
Yeah.
So I always kind of think of him with Metallica where he's like, yeah, it kind of puts a company, or in that case, Metallica, in a very different position of doing something new and, interesting and cool. So it's hard. Yeah, it just is. And I think in the terms of video games, you think of a series like, let's just say Call of Duty or Civilization, we talk about Hollywood with how they don't do anything new. It's all franchises and, sequels. Well, with video games, typically the production cost of video games is getting pretty ridiculous. It has been for a while. It's only continuing to get more astronomically expensive with these AAA games. So for better or for worse, they're going to continue to go with what they, at least the publishers, consider a safer bet, which is probably not being incredibly innovative and just kind of doing what already works.
Yeah. I always want to think that developers, that franchises can live. I want success for the small guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I do. So I almost forgot about this, and thankfully my brain just turned on for a second. For those out there who are Hulu subscribers, a little bit of interesting news for you. Hulu, the app, and kind of the service by itself, is shutting down in 2026.
Yep.
Now, it's not that Hulu is going away. It is basically being absorbed into Disney Plus, because Disney is like, this is ridiculous. We've got all these different apps, so we're putting everything onto the Disney Plus app or service. So,
and of course, Disney is also now purchased by, ESPN is now doing their also standalone streaming device.
Yep.
So yeah, it's all kinds of stuff.
Yes, it is.
But it's the ever fun online streaming, where Now, in order to watch your football, you have to have like 8 different streaming services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to rewind back real quick. I found some more information about Bioshock 4 and the reason why people are saying it's still alive. Apparently, the developer, Cloud Chamber, for Bioshock 4, put in their game, the Bioshock 4, into review to the publisher, 2K Games, and the executives basically said the narrative in particular is something that needs to be completely revamped. So that's why we know that Bioshock 4 is still a thing, because it didn't pass inspection. It has to be reworked. So it's still there.
Awesome.
But apparently, there is talk about the studio must become more efficient, which is scaring a lot of the studio employees, thinking, "Well, shit, I am about to be fired or laid off."
But the efficient sized.
And 2K is basically said fully committed to ensuring we deliver a Bioshock game that exceeds the lofty expectations of our fans. Also remember that this is a game that the former director of the Bioshock series, Ken Levine, is not a part of.
Yep.
So the mastermind has moved on to another project. He's still working on a game called Judas at his new studio, Ghost Story Games.
Fun.
So there you go. And now you know. But anyways, there you go. Zealeus, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the early access of Titan Quest 2.
Mm-hmm.
Classic ARPG where basically you pick 2 masteries. So in my case, I combine my power of fire with a storm mage. The elements were mine.
Right.
It's pretty super early access. There's only like 1 act. And there's more classes to come. But so far from when I played, it's looking pretty freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be like another 6 months to a year before the actual 1.0 comes out. I played Titan Quest 1, which was a great game. So I'm like, yeah. And so, yeah. So that's what I've been playing. So that this week I played through that. I mean, right now, if anyone picks up at early access, it's only like 5 hours for each class.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of know what you're getting yourself into. It's early access. But it's also right now, if you buy it on Steam, it's like $23, I think, on sale. It's one of those when it's released gold, it's going to be like $50. So it's also, if you know you're going to buy it, or if you're going to play it when it goes gold, you might as well get it now. Even if you don't touch it in early access, like it's going to be, if you like ARPGs, it's going to be a game you're going to want to play when it comes out gold. That's what it comes down to.
$23.99 right now on Steam.
There you go. Yeah. So if you know you're going to play it someday, I would buy it now is basically what I would say. I mean, I'm probably not going to touch it much now until it goes gold because, like, I played the first act. I'm like, okay, I know I like it. I'm not one of those who feels the need to, like, now I am an alcoholic, but not when it's like this much of early access.
Yeah.
I played enough to know, like, yes, it's a good game. If you're going to play it, go ahead and buy it now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, that's what I've been playing. But my other exciting news, it's not really for me, but as we all know, I go to Dragon Con, and they actually just announced today that the cast of Bones will be at Dragon Con.
Nice.
So I'm not one to stand in lines normally for panels, but if they do a panel, I will sure as hell be in line for a Bones panel.
Nice.
Yeah, because even the stars, Emily Dashnell and David Boreanaz, they'll both be there. So you actually have the 2 big stars of the show will be there.
Sweet.
Indeed.
I like I said, I played the Moonlighter 2 demo. The planned release of the actual game is sometime in 2025. So fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later, because I'd like to sink my teeth into it. And then I also played a random game that I got through Prime Games called Guild of Dungeoneering, which the art style just hits me in like a soft spot, because it's grid paper and it looks like like a graphite pencil drew these dungeons.
Interesting.
And you
So the point of it, yeah,
Huh?
sorry, go on.
you just
Go on,
basically you go to different dungeons, and then you get these cards. Some of the cards are for like treasure, some of them are enemies, and some of them are actual pieces to the dungeon that you basically have to build. And then you don't have control over the dungeoneer. They go their own. You can see where their path is going to lead them. And then the combat is card based. So it's not bad. I mean, I've gotten really effing frustrated because all of my dungeoneers die, and then I've got to wait. So when someone dies, you will find basically you get one dungeoneer per unlocked class.
Okay.
And so if you've got, and some of the classes are just ridiculous. You've got like a bruiser and a mime and an apprentice, which is a magician. And let's say the apprentice dies. So you'll have to use the bruiser or the mime through the next run in the dungeon, and then a new apprentice will appear after that run. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss, but they'll replace it. And right now, I'm filling up my fucking graveyard because I can't seem to beat any of the dungeon challenges right now. So, freaking awesome. Yeah. So, but I played that. I think that was the game I ended on after playing Moonlighter 2 on Tuesday.
Nice.
I seriously need to get back into Hades 2 and the next chapter, excuse me, of Final Fantasy 7. But Final Fantasy 7, I don't know. I'm just getting frustrated with the combat. I just feel like I know I've said this before, but I feel like it's all over the freaking place. There's, in a certain area, I want kind of the same range of difficulty with all the enemies. And it's not. There's enemies that I will wipe the floor with immediately, and then in the very next battle, I basically got to use all my potions to survive. And oh, by the way, you can't use a potion if you don't have any action points, which pisses me off so freaking much.
As a side note, it looks like Hades 2 supposedly is on its last patch before it goes to 1.0.
Yes.
So it's close to being at that proper place.
Yes, I've taken a bit of time off from Hades 2 simply because I wanted to have more of the story unlocked and going in both directions. One, two, I've also been waiting to see more of the finalized art for the different gods that you and characters that you run and NPCs that you run into instead of the placeholder stuff. So
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah. I want to check something real quick before I say something. This is that week. This is okay. Good. All right. So I believe we have reached the end of our show. So without further ado, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything coming out of our heads. Oh my Lord. Let's try this again. Oh my God. I'm falling apart here. It's been a pleasure giving you everything that come out of our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Alter Confusion Thursday night hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.